What if I told you there's a way to build up to $9,000 a month in dividend income without quitting your job, starting a side hustle, or taking crazy risks in crypto? Picture this. Every single month, your brokerage account gets a fresh deposit, reliable cash flow you can count on, whether the market's up, down, or sideways. In this video, I'm going to break down 3 powerful monthly dividend ETF strategies. They're designed for different investor types, from conservative retirees to aggressive income seekers. And I'll show you step by step how a $100,000 portfolio could eventually turn into $9,000 per month in income. Here's the issue most dividend investors run into: quarterly dividends. The S&P 500 pays out just 4 times a year. That's fine if you're reinvesting, but if you're trying to replace a paycheck, it creates gaps in cash flow. Imagine waiting 3 months for income. It's inconsistent and it makes budgeting nearly impossible. And with market volatility, like the S&P 500 dropping more than 4% back in April 2024, depending on those quarterly payments can feel risky. But what if you could flip that around and create a steady monthly paycheck from dividends? That's where these strategies come in. I've built 3 monthly dividend ETF strategies, each one tailored to a different investor personality. 1. Conservative strategy. A sleep well at night portfolio with 4 to 5% yield and maximum stability. 2. Balanced strategy. The middle ground 5 to 8% yield with a blend of growth and income. 3. Aggressive strategy, designed for maximum cash flow with 8 to 12% yield if you can handle more volatility. All 3 use a mix of ETFs that stagger their payment schedules, so you're not waiting around. You get cash flow every single month. Let's start with the conservative strategy. This one is perfect if you're retired or close to retirement, and you care more about stability than chasing huge returns. Think of it as the sleep well at night portfolio. Here's how it works. You'd use ETFs that hold blue chip companies, utilities, and even some bonds. The yields here are usually in the 4 to 5% range. It may not sound flashy, but here's the magic. These ETFs pay every single month. So instead of getting a big lump sum every quarter and then stressing about budgeting, you've got cash landing in your account like clockwork. It's steady, predictable, and helps smooth out the ups and downs of the market. Imagine you've got $100,000 invested here. At a 5% yield, you're pulling in about $5,000 a year, or just over $400 a month. Not life-changing yet, but it's consistent and it's safe. And with reinvestment, those numbers grow year after year. Now let's step it up with the balance strategy. This one is for investors who want more income than the conservative plan, but still want to keep risk under control. Yields typically land between 5 to 8%. How do we get there? By blending in ETFs that focus on real estate investment trusts, high dividend equities, and even covered call ETFs. These products generate more cash flow while still keeping you diversified. Here's an example. Imagine splitting your $100,000 into 3 buckets. 1/3 goes into conservative, stable monthly payers, 1/3 into REIT ETFs for higher yield, and 1/3 into covered call ETFs, which trade options to generate income. Together, that mix can bring in $6,000 to $8,000 a year, or $500 to $650 every single month. Now we're talking about real supplemental income. That could cover your groceries, your car payment, maybe even your mortgage. Finally, we've got the aggressive strategy. This one is not for the faint of heart, but if your goal is maximum monthly cash flow, this is where it gets interesting. Here we're talking about ETFs with yields from 8 to 12%. These are typically high-yield bond ETFs, more aggressive covered call funds, or even sector-specific plays that focus on energy or emerging markets. With $100,000 in this approach, you could realistically see $9,000 a year, or about $750 every single month, and in some cases, even more. Scale that up to a $500,000 portfolio, and you're looking at $45,000 a year or nearly $4,000 a month. That's real income you can live on. Now, the trade-off is volatility. Prices swing more. Dividends could get cut in a downturn, so you need a strong stomach, and you need to keep some cash on the sidelines. But for aggressive income seekers, this strategy delivers the paycheck-like consistency you're looking for. So let's recap. Conservative, 4 to 5% yield, steady and safe. Balanced, 5 to 8% yield, a blend of growth and income. Aggressive, 8 to 12% yield, maximum cash flow but higher risk. The beauty here is that you don't have to pick just one. You can mix and match. Maybe 50% conservative, 30% balanced, and 20% aggressive. That way, you're still collecting meaningful income every month while protecting yourself from big market swings. Now, before you dive in, here's the golden rule. Dividends are amazing, but they're not guaranteed. Companies can cut payouts, markets change. So always diversify, and don't put every last dollar into chasing yield. Think of this as building your own monthly paycheck machine. But just like any machine, it runs best when it's well maintained, with discipline, patience, and a long-term outlook. So here's my challenge for you. Look at your current portfolio. Are you stuck waiting 3 months for dividends? Or could you restructure things to start collecting reliable monthly cash flow? If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more dividend and investing strategies, and drop a comment below. Which of these 3 strategies fits you best? Conservative, balanced, or aggressive?